Remember, grad, if you had an outdoor graduation commencement and you think back, I bet you do not remember the weather. You likely don't. Unless, of course, you graduated from, say, the programs of, just off the top of my head, atmospheric science, earth science, or meteorology. But I doubt for most that was the case here. Hi, I'm Chris May, host of This Day in Weather History, a podcast from the Weather Network in Canada. Today is the curious case that unfolded for the University of Colorado's class of 2019 spring graduates, as it occurred this day in weather history. If you ever watched the popular evening sitcom Mork and Mindy back in the 80s, then you remember the opening musical theme song sequence where Robin Williams' character, Mork, is sitting in the crossbar of the uprights of a football field while Mindy, played by Pam Dauber, stood below, urging him to come down. It was shot on the field of the University of Colorado Buffaloes. So that field in that stadium is where this commencement took place in front of 20,000 friends and family.
Because there's snow on the seats kids are going to freeze their butts off.
I tell you all that to tell you this. That's a lot of people. Therefore, there was a lot of planning and coordination and likely a battleship full of money that went into this day. The commencement organizing committee were likely all year figuring, quote, this is going to be another fantastic day. I mean, after all, it's normally 75 on May 9th, right? Now, for the rest of us, that equates to about 24 degrees Celsius, by the way, and well within the boundaries of perfect conditions for an outdoor commencement. On Thursday, May 9th of 2019, this version of their outdoor commencement service had to be cut short. And why? The weather.
Oh man, it's amazing! It's amazing! It's Colorado, and
everything changes
in a nutshell. Yeah.
They were walloped with up to 3 inches of snow in some places. That's over 7.5 centimeters of snow that was on that field on that day on those 20,000 plus people in Boulder at the University of Colorado. So, did the people panic? Did they stay away? Did they cancel, postpone, reschedule, move it in any way? Hell no! We are buffaloes, they said. Now, you know what? When I think about that, I bet you that they didn't say that quite that way. They went ahead as planned. Now, of course, they likely shortened the bloated speeches and some of the gratuitous self-indulgences that normally pad out occasions like this. And the students, in true university fashion, dressed for the conditions and the unusual events. They came in wearing ski goggles and snow boots. They were in flannel onesies that looked like animal pajamas, and they had snowball fights. Naturally, I tell you, this was flat out an amazing time.
But we're in Colorado. Of course, it's going to snow in May. I think it's kind of fun. I don't know. I'm not that upset about it. I like the snow. I like the cold weather.
Great day to graduate. Who cares about the weather? We made it.
After all, they were the graduating class who would go on to have the coolest photos ever, the craziest memories and stories from this event ever, and actually a pretty catchy nickname for the whole event. They could say forever that they were the attendees of the 2019 Snow-mencement, as it was dubbed.
You know what? Honestly, it's Colorado.
So just Colorado.
Serendipitous. Yep, and Colorado. Absolutely. Yes.
Let's go Buffs!
Go Buffs!
Obviously, the atmosphere at the graduation ceremony was festive, to say the least, despite the cold and snowy conditions, as students were played into Folsom Field, the university's football stadium, and they took their snow-covered seats. It was then that they instinctively, and immediately, I might add, began to hurl the snowballs into the air. On this day, there were more than 8,600 university degrees to be conferred at that commencement, according to the local paper, the Boulder's Daily Camera. As temperatures on this day hovered in the 30s, around 0 Celsius, give or take a degree above or below that zero mark. Now, of course, even with a normal average of 24, in the month of May and in Boulder, snowfall is not that unusual, as the city actually averages at least one day of measurable snow during the month each year. But you'd have to go all the way back to May 5th of 1917, when they had their last record. That was 14.5 inches or 37 centimeters that fell. That's still the record. Now that would have had a more serious knock-on effect for this graduation that happened on this day in weather history. Tomorrow is May 10th. We sadly have to get back to the hard work of recounting a story where the weather proved to be the enemy, and no fun for anyone. The Great Plains, May 10th through 13th of 2010. There was a tornado outbreak that affected large areas of Oklahoma, Kansas, Missouri, and Arkansas. It was classified as a major outbreak, and we will get into the day it started. That's tomorrow, on this day in weather history, with me, your host, Chris May.